Okay, so yes, so let's say a word of prayer. In Jesus' name, amen. Father, we thank you for this day. We welcome you this morning. That we ask for mercy. For I know one way or the other we must have sinned against you. We plead the blood of Jesus, that blood that cleanses every form of sin, the atonement you made for us, and your blood that helps us to come before the throne of the Father. And we ask for mercy this morning. Father, we actually need help this day. We need mercy and grace, for we are in a time of need. Help us in today's class, dear Father. Help us after the class and help us during the class. In Jesus' name, amen. We start the class in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. So welcome everyone. Um, we thank God for another day. So today's class, as I said previously, will be very interactive. So I gave a task yesterday. So we'll start from there. So but before I even talk about the task, I was saying something previously. I was saying something previously, and that was um what is going on? Why is it not? Yes, yes. I don't know why this stream is not suffering. So what I was saying previously is that I was saying that at the third month will fully be into the practical side of it. So it means you'll be designing, do more of designs, and then once in a while, some of the practical part of the course, some of the theories you have gone through, we are going to be we'll start reviewing it. When I mean review, not like we'll be going back to it, but we'll now be going back to it to now see, okay, how does this affect this design and how does it not affect the design? So that's what I mean by reviewing it. So what I'm saying this is so that by God's grace we can start having a mindset of collaborating with each other. So very important. And I think in that third month I'll start pairing us in twos. So you have your teammates. So we start working in twos, and then by God's grace, that third month, I'm going to share with us one group. We are all going to be in a particular Figma group where we'll be all of our designs will be there. So if you're in group A, people use one Figma file to design. So both groups will use one Figma file. So if you're in group A, your Figma file will be tied to the group A. So once I come to the Figma file, I see it. And if you're in group B, I'll see your Figma design somewhere in that particular file. And then maybe you might have your own page, or another way you can do it in that same Figma file. We can have different pages. The page for group A, so everything that has to do with group A will be in that page, and the page for group B. So I think that's how we'll do it. So so what I'm saying is let's start prepping up to start doing designs. I don't want it to sound like as if it's something scary. It's going to be very interesting. It's a very interesting phase where you start learning a lot of new things into design. So that's the information I have for us this morning. So for the meantime, let me check something before I continue. Okay, for the meantime, the the tax I gave us yesterday, how many of us did it? You're able to do it now. Okay, no, trying is good enough. What about you, Andrew? Could not screenshots. So what made it not to screenshots? I thought we tried screenshots yesterday. So what was the error message it gave you? I don't know. Just your thing is a little bit far. Please come closer so I can look at your laptop and know why it's not screenshotting. There must be a reason for that. So nevertheless, I'm going to share my screen. We are continuing with layers and grid. Layout, I mean to say. Layout and grid. So
You see Windows F instead of
Windows F. I never said Windows F. But the one that was didn't get the right information. Windows Shift S.
Yeah, I tried that one too. It's not working.
This not a screenshot.
It is that. I told you that's open. Please do open.
You just did a screenshot now and draw. See the screenshot.
Please.
Click on drag. Minus news. See another screenshot. So screenshot actually. So from what I was saying previously, you're going to continue with grids and layouts. So that's where you continue from. So let me share my screen. Let me open Figma. So here I think preferably you start sharing your screen first. Let me see what you tried doing. So this is where we're going to continue with layers and grids. Very important. So okay, let me give you permission to share. So layers and grids system and layout system. So okay, so start now. Okay. Try sharing now. Oh, you're no longer in the meeting. Interesting. And you're no longer in the meeting too. Let's try and join. Have you joined? Just screen. Share sound. Click on that share sound. And not share screen. So you can move to Canva. Let's see what you have.
That's a little bit.
Pardon? Are you not sharing? No, click on share now.
I can't select it. Okay. Hmm.
Yes, I am.
No, no, no. Hmm.
Okay, so what was the thing you don't understand? I noticed you actually did two screenshots. So what are the things that you don't understand? I think that's where we can start helping you.
Well, no, sorry.
Okay. So the first one, what happened? This first one, can you tell us what happened in the first one?
Okay, the process.
Pardon? Yes, just explain to us the first one.
So first of all,
The mic is muted.
first of all, choose my
You don't use the mic.
yes.
Yes.
That's interesting. I don't seem to be hearing you.
When I
Do I increase the volume of
my
my
speaker.
speaker?
No, your mic is on. Is it on? Is your mic on?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it's on.
Is that hearing?
So I choose the
So I choose the
first.
frame first.
Yes.
The stop frame.
Okay. Continue.
And I want to design. I choose the gray format. I selected it, the column 8,
At the six.
at the 6.
Count it now because okay.
The 6.
So Andrea, be doing your own now.
And I want to
You're in the meeting, but be doing your own now. I need to see your grid.
The website.
Okay.
and I want to Yahoo, the website. I screenshot it, copy, and I pasted it here. So I try to check the size of their grid they used. I don't know.
Okay. Okay, so what setting did you adjust?
I couldn't get that part very well. So I think what I did here was just to adjust the set to fit into the grid.
I went to that video, I changed some settings. Oh, what I did.
I'll go back to
For me,
that.
I'm trying this thing.
Okay. So
Can't do anything here. I went to that grid, I changed some settings. Oh, what I
Some of the writers are not coming. It's not showing clearly.
you're no longer in the meeting again. So you're no longer in the meeting again. Try rejoin. Connect to the hotspot, the office Wi-Fi. No, to the office Wi-Fi is stable. Connect to the Wi-Fi is stable. It's fairly stable. Yes. Check my service.
I'll mute myself.
No, you're actually unmuted.
Hmm?
You're muted. Just keep going. You're muted. Hide. Click on this hide. Press. I'm not showing your screen again. I'm just speak on you.
Hello?
Okay. Yeah. I think this stuff is restricted to the audio browser. I'll try speaking on it.
Hello?
Okay, so you work on this. Continue.
Alright. So, I think I'm done explaining the first one. Here you said I should show you where I did the setting. I can't I
So you
can't see
can
anything
recall.
on the left layout.
So
Yeah, I'll
is it
click on the
is it that you can recall how you did it?
I
Or
can, but then I can't remember. I'm not seeing any
have you selected your frame?
uh okay. Fee.
The mistake you made is look at your layers.
My layout.
Go to your layers, not layouts.
Layout.
That image that you selected, is it inside the frame or outside the frame? Go to your layers. You're not at your layers, just
Here?
your layers panel. But that's not layers. The layers panel is by your left.
Okay.
So that image that is selected now,
Mm.
you don't need to select it. Just look at the arrangement. That image one, is it inside your frame one or outside of it?
I put it inside.
No, it's not.
It's not.
Look at your layers. Is your layers I'm looking at, not your frame. Check your layers. That's image one. Is it inside your frame one? That's frame one. Image one. Is it inside it or above it? Which one? I want you to answer so that's anything else.
It should be inside.
So, but it's not inside. That is the
Mm.
first mistake you made.
Okay.
Click on the eyes. That eyes. Go to your click on that image one. No, not that one. Not that one. You just hit. That one is for. That one is for.
I
You see
should
that
click on
frame
this
one is
one.
for. Hide that frame one.
This one.
No, no, frame one. Frame one. Hide it.
I should hide this by
Yes.
clicking the eye away.
With the time you have, just do as much as you can.
The eye
Yes,
away.
yes, yes, yes. The eye. Just hide it. You
Mm-hmm.
see that one is frame one.
Okay.
Are you now seeing that your image is not inside your desktop?
Mm-hmm.
So what you do now is place it inside that your desktop. Drag that image one down into desktop
I
in
should
your
drag this
layers.
one.
No, see, don't bother the work frame. Just focus on your layers. That is your layers I'm actually talking about, not the workflow, not your my goodness, what happened now? Go back to your Figma. Go back to your browser. Your Figma is another day again. Trust. What happened? It's like you're never connected to Zoom. Go back to your browser is where you're signed in now. It's your browser that you're using soon. Your Chrome browser. I think it's lagging. Okay, since it's lagging, let me look at the screen directly. So, so what I was saying is, you're not just ignore this,
Mm-hmm.
ignore it. I want you to focus on these layers.
Mm-hmm.
So what I was saying is that image one, show you're seeing that it's not inside desktop one.
Mm-hmm.
So what you do now is drag it inside desktop one from your layers.
What do I do?
Like drag the way you drag normally. Right? You
I should drag this image.
is that she? Are you seeing your screen? Because I'm not seeing your screen again. Share your screen again.
muted off as well. So maybe you can mute your mic. I know your own mic was capturing. It's just mute a little bit to avoid echo.
Wait, don't worry, you can't use it, just do this. Return back to Figma. You're not in Figma. Okay, I think why is it always showing me your WhatsApp? Interesting. So let me try speaking. Let me see if I can hear you. Interesting.
Hello?
Try speaking. Let me see if I can hear you. Interesting. So that means your microphone is what I'm capturing. So let me leave my mic turned off. So I'm using your own microphone. So what I was okay. So what I was trying to say is select off your frame. She's no longer selected. So double click on that your desktop. You notice that your image is selected on the layout. So this is what I was trying to. Do you notice that your setting has changed? Your design that is towards your right. Your design, layers is at your left. Your design is at your right. You notice that's changed. So at this point, select your desktop now. No, 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 not from there.
Okay.
No, click outside your frame. Click out, double click and select your image. The image. So now select your desktop. What you do is move your mouse to where you see desktop one and click on it. You see it's now selected, right? Did you notice the option in design has changed? Did you have you realized? Have you seen that it has changed? No, you're not giving me a feedback. Has it changed?
Yes.
Okay. So select on the image again. That's you double click and select on the image. Did you see that's changed now?
Yes.
Good. So it should show you that anything you select, that design option will change. So if you're not seeing the previous settings you did previously, know that you're in the wrong place or you're setting the wrong thing. So go back to your desktop. So you're not selecting it properly. Click on always be observant. Make sure you observe your cursor. If your cursor changes, know that you're in the wrong state. So now this is the right state to select that. If you move and your cursor changes to either an arrow or it changes to maybe a cross, know that you're in the wrong state. And if you try selecting that moment, you do the wrong thing. So can you go back to that Yahoo landing page you went to on your browser? Maybe I don't know where you went to find it. Let's go back to it. So you did Yahoo now, so you must have gone to their website. So let's go back to their website again. Is it already?
I was having issue to get the. It was even part of what I wanted to ask.
Okay, good.
I didn't get the layout way.
Don't worry.
The grid.
Don't worry. You came at the right time. So that was like discussing now. Yeah, I think it's good that you paid that attention. Andrea, are you ready? Okay, so say, hey, yes, this is it, right? Okay, okay, this is it, right?
Yes,
And so
yes.
screenshot it again. Yeah, the website has not loaded very well. Go back to the website. It's still loading. Okay, it's now, yeah, everything has now loaded. So the shortcut is, okay, you can go to new. Yeah, it's already open. No need of opening a new one. Go to click on new. I click on new. So drag along, no, drag along it to screenshot. You did screenshot it well. You did start from the beginning. See where it started from.
Where am I supposed to
You
start?
must start from the edge because this thing you did now,
Ah,
yes, it won't screenshot well. Start from the edge of your website.
from here.
Yes. So yes, that place is okay. So go back to sleeping. So you copy it. Actually, there. Just right click on it. I know you're looking for where your cursor is. Your cursor is there. Just right click. Okay. Is that it's very tiny, so you're not seeing it again. So go back to
I should delete this one.
delete it.
Everything I deleted.
No, you know why you did everything? You didn't select your image. You selected your frame, Control Z. So select your image now. You double click select your image, delete. And, and I noticed you added maybe accidentally. Wait, yeah, you pasted the image. Click Control Z. Click Control Z. I noticed now your frame is black.
Mm.
Click on your desktop. You see where it happened. You must be accidentally added it by mistake.
I have.
So did you notice that? Look at your field.
Mm-hmm.
Are you seeing that you have 20% black?
Mm.
Remove it. Click on the minus button. Have you seen none? It's not white, right?
Mm.
Good. So paste. Go to that desktop. Go to your layers. I'm seeing layer image. Go to your desktop one in your layers. Are you seeing that image that is there? So it means that something is off in that place. Click on it. Delete it. Good. So paste. Just use Control V to paste. Don't use rectangle, right? Just use Control to paste. And so what you do now is drag desktop one. No, that's not the drag I mean. You're actually scaling. Click Control Z. There's a different view frame one. Desktop here. When you once you move, you're not yet doing it right. It's still not inside it. So just be trying. I want you to just be trying. You're not getting it wrong, though, but you have not yet done it well for it to enter. So keep dragging it until it enters into your desktop one. Still not it has not entered though, this one. So drag it from here so that you enter. See that's entered now. You notice how it entered. Good. So next thing you're going to do now is double click on it to select it. Good. So adjust it. That's when I mean adjust, I mean drag it to show very well on the screen. Not no, that's you're scaling it. I mean drag it now. Mhm. You see you're dragging it off your layer. So bring it so that it will be visible on your desktop. I mean to say. Continue adjusting it. Mhm. You're getting it. Take it down now. You're getting it. No, take it back up. You've missed. It's okay. So now you're going to scale it to now fit. And you need to watch my terms. Close the stuff. So go to the bottom right corner. No, like no, on this image selected, go to your bottom right corner. No, on the image selected, not the hand, exactly here. So scale it now. No, here. Are you seeing your area has changed? It
Mm.
means you can scale. So scale needs to fit your desktop frame. You is a little bit outside above it. So scale it again. Try to fit your desktop frame properly. Good. So you've gotten it now. So select your desktop. No, okay, you can use both ways. You can select from your layers and select it directly there. So go to your layout grid and click on the settings. Yes. the layout grid. You were there before now.
Okay.
So click on that settings. So adjust your margins now to fit the margin of Yahoo. You can try just between try and error. Or try 60 if you depending on the number.
Only the margin.
Yes, it's the margin that is affect everything not to fit. And you see that it's now adjusting itself. So you just between try and error until you get it. What happened? You turn off your grid. Go back to your grid. You deleted your grids
Hmm.
unknowingly. I don't know how you just did it, but you deleted it. So add it again. So adjust the settings. No, no, that's the wrong place. Go back to your settings. You have so adjust everything afresh. You added I know you just deleted the grid. That's the wrong grid though. You're in grid, you should be in column.
So,
Uh, so go back. It's actually above you. Uh, exactly. So I should have just added this. Six. Should be six. So change the quarter to 24 and make a margin. I think which number did you get? Okay, we tried 60 initially, right? Try 60 again, let's see if it will work. So it is a little bit up, it's a little bit beyond it. So try something less than 60. And you see, what did you try? 40, right?
yeah.
Did you see that it now fits very well to their own margin, right? Yeah. So you have gotten this. You have gotten this one. So um on you know frame one is hidden. So bring it back, go back to your layers and bring back frame one.
So I don't need to adjust this place.
No, there's no point of doing that. So you now is now fitting their own margin. So go back to frame one, your layers and reveal it. You know it's hiding. So it's not a revealed because you hid it. So unhide it. The eyes is closed. So click on the eyes again to open it. So go back to Netflix. So you are complaining that you could not see what is going on there, right? So I have two things, two corrections I have for your Netflix. Is can you scroll down? Let's see it clearly. So so yes, we are now seeing it clearly now. So what you do now is adjust that your Netflix frame properly because it's not well adjusted. It's outside your frame now. Hope you are aware. So drag it back into your frame. It is now inside your frame. Scale it properly, try to fit it because it's not yet scaled properly. One side is smaller than the other side. Adjust from here. Always use the right corner so it will fit in properly. You remove that corner radius you added. So now scale it from that side. Scale here. No, it's below your distance. It should cover the entire frame. No, that's the wrong thing you're scaling. This is where you should scale, not here. It's above. Take it back. Take it back. Try again until it fits well. Good. This side has small comma,
Mm.
so adjust it from here. Always adjust from the sides. Don't adjust from the corner, not from the side. Good. That's fitting very well. So the issue you're complaining that you can't see that, right?
Mm.
That is no problem. Select your frame one. No, you're selecting image. Select the frame. Good. Do you notice that in your properties panel, that's this one here,
Mhm.
you notice that you have two grids on. You have 8 columns, auto and grid 8 pixels. Are you noticing that?
Mhm.
So remove that grid 8 px because it's not necessary. We don't need it. This is the one we need. So go to the settings. Go to the settings of that your layout. That's your layout grid. It's red. I see where the rose color. No, the settings is okay.
Yeah.
I see where the rose color.
Yes, yes.
Change it to another color. Let's see if it will be visible.
I should type another color out.
Just click on this place, that place. Change the color.
So
No, whatever color. I don't have any color preference. Just make sure you can now see it. Is the green visible? No. Change the color. Take it back to this place. Drag this to this huge place. That in is dark. You can see it. You can still see it, right?
mm.
Increase the opacity of it. Increase the that's opacity. Increase it. Increase it. So good. Can you see it now? Can you see it on your screen? Because it's very visible on my own screen. Can you see it on your own screen? Check now. I change it to another color. No, no, this is blue. Change the color.
Okay.
Not change to another color. I see it's not visible. Did you see green is even more visible?
Mm-hmm.
Which would have see yellow is visible. Choose that red again. I see red is still visible.
Mm.
So what happened is that the opacity was low. To reduce the opacity again, it's too harsh. Reduce a little bit. It's okay now. So you can now close it. So that was why you could not see it. So you can now close your frame. So let's adjust this particular one. So adjust the margin now to fit properly. Mm. So press enter. Yeah, you change the number. That is very low. She use 40, right?
Mm.
40 is low. I think try to second guess it. Well, maybe from 100 can do.
Sorry, did you say the grade must be a multiple of 600?
Yes, eight of them can use 6 or 8.
What day is it?
If you use 100, it's
Yes.
very close, but it's
Mm.
not there yet. Adjust it small, just small. You just reduce it to select your frame again. You know, select your frame. You can select your frame in two ways, from the layers or from the place. So select your frame again. Sorry, no, sorry, change your layers. I meant to say, pardon me for that. So you made it 100 and now made it 98. Is that not reducing it? So
So
make
I
it,
should increase it.
yeah, increase it just slightly, slightly above 100. 120 has made it to pass. So increase it again, reduce it again. I meant to say they're about there. That's it.
One time.
Icing it now. So it's fairly close to it. I don't know if it's making sense. So
Mm-hmm.
you're cutting this particular layer and grid.
what you're going to help us do is that you're going to show us what you did and demo. When I mean demo is you're going to do a new one for us to see, and then you guide us on how you did it. So I share your screen. I will stop sharing your screen. It's like you're disconnected. Don't worry, it's coming. So Andrea, you're sharing your screen, right? Stop sharing. Stop sharing. Stop sharing. What you share is screen. Don't share any other thing. So just stop sharing your screen. Click on yes. So click on the share button. Click on screen. There are so many tabs there. It's screen selected. So click on share sound. Then click on that's optimize stuff. It's close to share sound. Have you done that? It's not written your own. It's not. It's grayed out. Okay, it's not active. So click on share now.
Word, but they
you're sharing your entire
decreased
screen. So go back to Figma.
Wi-Fi. So each one of these circles is 1.618 times smaller than
it's one of their. It's not poorly
we don't need these squares anymore.
So what we're going to do is just drag so just ignore it and go back to.
If you want to, you can take time lining them up perfectly.
There's an arrow above you. Click on that arrow to drag it to bring it down.
And you'll notice that each one intersects with its previous one perfectly. So 1.618 times smaller. And if you keep dragging these all over, you'll notice that none overlap and they all align within themselves.
Yes, I can see it now.
Creating
so
this sort of pleasing, you can already tell that's going to be a pleasing design, but creating this
it's from my
decreasing growth according to
what you have. Let's see.
1.618.
Sorry, explain to us what you did.
Okay. So using these, we can now create a logo that is precisely and mathematically pleasing, which I think is really exciting. You can leave them like that, but I find it's best if you just align them centrally. You know then that you can copy these off to create your logo. Okay.
So I screenshotted
and the first thing we're going to do is it's best really to start from a sketch, but you can just sort of build from scratch. And I'll do a quick one to illustrate that. So essentially, you want to drag these circles out and intersect them and align them in ways that create shapes where they overlap, and then those shapes will be according to the golden ratio growth, which, as I said before, is inherently pleasing in itself. So if I hold down Alt and copy across one of these circles here, say for example, I wanted to make a fish. A fish is a nice simple one to do. So we could then copy across here, like this circle, to the center of this other one, so that we've got this nice overlapping shape here, okay? I then need some way to create a tail of some kind, okay? So I'd probably need one of these smaller circles. And I can align this one like so. And then duplicate one over like so. Noticing that I'm taking care to not scale any of these shapes, because the whole point of the golden ratio is to do with scale. The differences in size between these shapes will create an inherently pleasing shape when you're finished, no matter what you do, really, unless you really mess it up. So essentially at the moment, this doesn't look anything like a fish, but if you see where my mouse goes, this sort of section here could be a nice fish shape. So all we need to do is remove the extraneous extras that we don't need. We're going to use the shape builder tool to do that, which is Shift M on your keyboard. But I'm just going to select it here. And if this tool is really simple to use, if you just click and drag between two shapes, it will merge them like so.
Okay.
Let's merge that into one. If you hold Alt and drag, it will remove that shape from your selection. Okay, and if you hit Shift, it does the same thing as joining shapes. So I don't need this, I don't need this, I don't need this. And what I want these to do is all merge together. Okay, so we now have a fish shape. Maybe I'll just merge those as well. Oops.
Yes.
That is according to the golden ratio. So this growth here is mathematically correct and mathematically pleasing according to the golden ratio. Now, this doesn't really look great, So what I'll do now is I'll just quickly jump to a logo that I made earlier, which is a bit more complicated and looks a bit better. Okay, so here I have a logo that I created earlier. You probably recognize it from the first slide in the PowerPoint. And you can see that this original logo, without all the lines surrounding it, there's something sort of inherently pleasing about the way the shapes curl into themselves, and it looks balanced and it looks well maintained and well created. That is because, if you know, I'm not big myself up too far because it's not fantastic, it's just okay for illustrative purposes. That is because it is constructed entirely using golden circles. So you can see here that on the front page of this illustration, I've just basically duplicated and copied a whole bunch of circles, keeping within the scale of the originals, that overlap and intersect in such a way that leave places which are then filled in with certain gradients to create a logo. And what I'm going to do now is going to take you through this again, essentially, but do it live in front of you rather than having it prepared. Just to show you how simple it is to do, but also to show you a few stumbling blocks that you need to be aware of. So we've got our fish here. I'll just get rid of him because he's not very useful. And we just need to basically have a set of golden circles on hand. Now, we created these the slow way before by creating this golden rectangle here with a golden spiral and then creating a circle in each one and scaling it down, etc., etc. If you find yourself needing smaller or larger circles, it's actually a lot quicker to do it this way, and you can do it this way from scratch. If you copy and paste in place the second version of whatever circle you want to duplicate, okay, you can just, with the size linked, you can just times that by 1.618, and you'll create the next ring up in the golden circle, okay, that is proportionate to that.
Check your browser.
Okay, sorry.
So continue.
So you place it in the frame and then you begin to
Can you remove
adjust.
that image out? Can you remove that image outside the frame, please? Drag it outside the frame so that we could see it clearly. You know that image is bigger than your frame. Yeah, well.
Yes.
Okay. I think this is like I'm not really seeing it clearly.
Nice.
The thing is lagging. I can't tend to see it. And this projector. Okay, I think you might use this projector, but it's just where you are, it's a little bit far from me.
Okay, so it's
Can you
outside.
tilt your screen so I can see from there? Tilt it this direction. But easier before you so
it's outside.
it's actually outside. Why is it not
Yes,
so refreshing?
See the frame here. I zoomed out. So see the frame here, and then this one is outside. So I think I can size it a bit. One thing I noticed is that when you try to like change this thing, it begins to crop.
It changes the ratio and it crops.
Yes, when you want to change the ratio to crop. So I decided to change this frame. That's the ratio of the frame instead. So once it reaches the small.
Can you stop sharing, because in your sharing option, we have lost you.
Sorry, I paused. Forgive me. So where should I start from now?
Maybe undo what you did. Go back to when you remove it from the frame.
It's not I control C, it's not. So here I put it in the frame. So let me move it now. It's not coming out for me.
It's out, it's glitching, just give it. It's actually there.
That's my image 5.
It's glitching. Do Control Z, this Figma stuff. The thing is glitching. Do Control Z. So return it back. Just keep pressing Control Z. Just keep on doing your going ahead. So this is how it was previously. You're using the hand to pass. So drag out that image which you did previously.
So now that it's outside, I can now reduce it, I think, as much as
I think the best thing to avoid having issue, do Control Z.
Because if you are seeing what I was showing in theory, you would have noticed it. So drag it into frame 4.
So that she move it.
Yes, I wanted why I say you should move it so you can see that it's beyond your frame. So drag it into frame 4. I said it previously. No, that's not frame 4, it's frame 2. So now, no, don't skip it yet.
I want to like move it. It's if I want to put
Okay,
it there, it's entering different too. So I wanted to move it.
Okay, so adjust it so that's what the edge is a bit good. So scale it now. Scale that image now from that direction so you get it correctly. And the colors of this thing is a little bit conflicting. I cannot at this point I'm now lost which one is. Can you change the color of your background?
My Figma background.
Yes, it's conflicting. Struggling to know which one is the dark one. Just no, not your key. Click on your workspace. Deselect your frame. Click on your workspace, just your entire workspace. No. Deselect when I mean on click, go to your page. The
My
color is
page.
1E, 1E, 1E. That is black. Change it, just reduce the shade of that black to something better. So because it was a little bit confusing, we are
Maybe another color. This white is.
okay because of your eyes. Just choose something that is lighter.
I think this one is okay.
I think it's fairly better. You can go with black, but just use the shade of that black. It's too much. Okay. So so now you're still right properly. Can you delete your grid and add a new grid for us and show us how you add a new grid?
Okay, so when you add the image, what is highlighted on your layers this thing is the image. But when the image is highlighted, you will not see the grid layer stuff here. So you have to click on the frame, then it will show up. So yeah, you can now see layout grid here. Then you now click on add. Then come to this set of 9 tiny boxes. And then first of all, change this to columns. And then can now start altering here. So I think I checked 12 first. So why is it suddenly okay? Wait, let me change the color first so I can see it. Because the screenshot I made is black, so no other color will show except white. White is not even very bright. So now start altering. First of all, let me change the matching. I'm just trying out until I get the one that seems to be it. And then I think this Google leaked off the margin and also this typing this search bar.
Yeah.
Yes, it's also leaked off the margin because the margin seems to have started from this all down. So I think I should still reduce it again. Maybe 120 should be okay. Nope, 125. Yeah, that one seems to work. If I reduce it any further, it will cut off here. So even though it's not perfect here, I think 125 seems to be the best option. So I think that's all.
Okay, that's good. You can stop sharing. So what I'll do is I'm going to walk through everything again. So from what she showed, I don't know,
Do you still need my screen? Can I change it back to black?
I think it's the way you make it previously. So at this point, do you have any questions?
So can you see all this stuff?
Yes. I think I don't know what happened, maybe when you opened your own name desktop, good. That one is no problem. I'll show us why it was like why it happened. So this is why it's good to you can be in class and be hearing a lot of things, but when it now reaches to practicalize it, you now realize that my goodness, what I heard is not what I understood. So I'm happy that things turned out this way. So let me share my screen so that we can all see it together. So from your own end, you can see my screen, right? Share my screen at the moment. I prefer using black for it. Straining my eyes. So what I would do is I'm going to make sure that in my frame, I see that my own is called desktop. Everything is called desktop. So this should show that not the name does not matter. So even if it is desktop or if it is whatever you can call it, you can even call it NK1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It doesn't matter. What matters is
Did you change it by yourself to desktop?
Okay, well, the name why is I think why your own is called frame because you drew your frame manually. You didn't select it, you didn't select the presets. So that's what I want to show us. So I'm going to assume that I didn't do this, I'm doing it for the first time. I want to hide these ones. So I'm going to assume I did not do it for the first time. So if you realize this is my layers, this is my layers page. Hide this thing, why is it showing that? Why is this showing? So you're seeing it clearly. So now I have an empty screen. So remember, your layers is very important, please. Anything you're doing, always monitor this layer. It's like if you're driving, it's like your rear mirror. Please always monitor it. Then design is what you use. It's like a dashboard. Okay, I'm using this to relate to those who can drive. It's what you see, what you're doing. Any operation you're making, it will be reflecting on this your design place. So don't ignore this and don't ignore design. It's very important so that you can trace what you can make some you can do something that I want to correct. And if you lose track of what you did, it will be very, very difficult to return to undo that stuff. Okay, so frame. I click on my frame. So at the moment now, watch the difference. My frame is selected. You notice in my design area of what I have now, I can select desktop and it shows me desktop. So it's now called desktop 3. That's the naming system. It's just a programming stuff with the application. If I now click on frame and then I now drag a frame, you see it's called frame 2, no longer desktop, because you just drew a customized frame, right?
Yeah.
Good. So let me delete this. So to avoid issues, please always, if you're designing something that you know the defined dimension, if you're doing a website if you're doing a design for websites, please just go with desktop. Is that clear? Good. Or if you want to do something customizable, maybe you want to do it to fit what you want to do, you can now draw a frame to fit whatever you want to do. Is that correct?
Sorry, but when you pick desktop, you
I'm
can
going to
still
unmute your mic before you speak, so you can capture it.
I'm unmuted.
No, go on.
So when you pick desktop, you can still alter the size.
Definitely.
You can, if it's desktop you're using, you can click on it. Sorry. If it's desktop I'm using, I can see alter my size. If I'm using
Like, so
desktop,
I'm now wondering if you are allowed to alter it, then how would it now be the fixed one that was supposed to be before?
why is it going to be, let me check it. So the goal why they allow you to see alter it, I can see alter it, right? Is not a problem. Why they allow you to alter it is because in the course of your design, you will need to make some adjustments. Remember, this is what was talking about the UX. The reason why they give the previous alter it is because as your design, you need to make adjustments to that particular frame. It can't be exactly it. So what they did is that they are giving you predefined dimensions. So it's now left for you to do whatever you want with it. But if you don't have any predicts, imagine that there's no predefined dimension. Won't it be difficult? Assuming you're a newbie and I don't know what is the dimension for desktop, won't it be difficult for you? So they are giving is more like you go to a bookshop and they tell you you want to buy a book and you're lost. They say, okay, these are the books we have. We have A4, we have A3, we have A2, we have A5, we have A6, and we have A0. See, they're already predefined. But if let's say I'm a professional artist now, I said, can you cut for me 500 by 600 cm? Or they say, okay, they'll get a particular size and cut what you have. That's the difference. Now you know what you're looking for. But let's say I don't know what. It's now me to now give you. You can now see the one that maybe I'll now bring out A5, A4, A3, A0, and then you now say, okay, this one fits what I want to see and do. You now pick that and buy. So that's the difference. So frame is just like, let me delete it now. Let me delete this particular frame. Remember, this is your work area. This black void is your workspace. Then frame is what contains your design. So if I click on my frame, I have a very long list of predefined dimensions. I think later in the class, in the future of the class, I'm going to talk about dimensions and their implications. So phones, see if this is phone dimension. I see the various phone dimensions. The tablets, I see the various dimensions. What's the next? Desktop, I see the various dimensions. What's the next thing again? Presentation, that's for slide presentation. I see the various dimensions. So, but we are doing a desktop screen. Remember, this desktop means it can either be a website, a software, or an application. I don't know if it's making sense. So that's why you need to have that at the back of your mind. So we're going to work with desktop, desktop. So by default, let it be known to you that for now, just work with desktop. If you're doing anything like websites, anything desktop related, just work with desktop. In the future, you can now start doing customizable frames depending on what you want to work for. Don't know that's clear.
To ask something.
Okay.
If you,
I am clear.
yes, if you want to do, there's some sites you see to be kind of like it will fit in perfectly as a phone size. Like, there are some sites you go to, and if you want to, you have to turn it to landscape or to see the dimension. So if you are designing something similar, would you actually stick to desktop? There are some sites you say they tell you phone friendly, that is phone friendly. So when you touch it, the images will pop up in a different. Yes. So does it? What I'm asking, does it really start from here, or is it something that during the developing process they will integrate?
Okay. So
Stuff you're asking is called responsiveness. It's called a responsive screen. Is it mic muted? Okay, it's called a responsive screen. So it means that you're trying to make something that can easily adjust to your screen.
So two ways, it's not the sole responsibility of the developer, it's also a responsibility too. So that's where the work comes in. So it means if you design for desktop, you have to design for mobile. So what the developer will do is is a template for the developer. They'll now know how to now write the code for it to be responsive. So it doesn't come from the blues. So it means if you design for desktop, have in mind that you're going to do the one for mobile.
So responsive means like
When it's in a laptop, it's taking a picture of a laptop. If you notice, if you die your Chrome search, if it was on your phone, will it look like that? Definitely not. It's because that the Chrome website is responsive. Then the one of landscape, that one is, I think, is majorly the developer's responsibility, because that landscape now is actually a function when you're programming. It means when you flip your screen to the landscape, it readjusts to landscape screen. So it's still part of the responsiveness. Like let's say if you click on this desktop, I see you have landscape. It's in landscape by default. I see in portraits. But for desktop, you don't use portraits. It's like me turning my laptop like this. It will not make sense. But what it makes sense is if it's for phone. Yeah, but for this, there's no point, because unless if you're using a desktop tablet, some laptops are both desktop and tablets. The screen can be detached. Right, omit your mic.
So if you make a design now on this desktop and you try to prototype, it will not look like it's those ones you were doing that time that it was looking like it's on the phone.
No, definitely not.
Can I see?
Okay. So if you're typing this, I click on my mic is muted. Sorry, Philip, my mic is muted. So is you see noun perfectly fitted. So because I've changed the dimension, so you're the one, it's your responsibility now to know your dimension. That is why you should master your dimensions and be observant. So if you're making a screenshot, just be observing which dimension fits this particular website properly and which one does not fit. So it's now for you. And once you realize the one that fits, what's your responsibility now is just to take note of it. So observe your dimensions, because every dimension you choose, every preset or presets you use, let's say I use a desktop preset, that's the desktop presets. I see the dimension is 1440 by 1024. So you record it in your mind. That's anytime I want to do desktop, I'm going to use 1440 by 1024. Don't know if it's making sense. So we are talking about layers. So let me start fresh because we deviated from what I wanted to show us. So let me delete this image and assume no, there's no image. So I've added a desktop now, right? So I have my desktop selected. So observe something which I want us to pay close attention to. This is very crucial because if you don't understand this, you'll be you'll be finding it difficult. In your layers, always observe the way you arrange your items. So I'm going to place that image. Did you notice that my image 2, this is the image, is currently selected? You notice that it's highlighted here that is selected. Is it within your desktop 3, which is this one? No, it's not. So it means that you are off the desktop frame. So there are 2 ways to actually bring this inside your desktop frame. You select that image 2 and drag it inside. So this will not answer your question, how you know the difference. The difference is that, watch, image 2 is outside your desktop frame here, desktop 3. So I'm going to drag it down into it. Do you notice that it's like as if almost all this no like it's now under a sub layer of it. You notice that here is not visible again. Good. So what you can do is, since this is technical, but since this is selected, I can just drag it because it's still highlighted. I see it's now visible because that is a visible area. Here is the blind spot. Here is a blind spot. It has even come out itself. Sorry, I'll drag it out. Anything around this is the visible spot. Here is a blind spot. If it's making sense. Good. So that is how you know the difference. The difference is if it is outside, even if it is outside below, watch the difference. Even if it is outside below, drag it well. So I'm not dragging it well. Okay, good. See, it's outside your desktop. Is this still inside of it? You notice it is now outside. All this no is below it. If I hide this, you see it. I see it now. It's below it. So even if it is outside below, the difference is that you notice that this is not a subset. It's not a subset of it. So, but once I drag it inside, watch how I'm going to drag it inside. You know the difference. This is not inside. Watch the inside now. I see this is inside now. I see it's now inside of it. So that's the first way. This one I showed you is when you want to do something very specific. But the easiest way to do it is assuming if it is dragged out, you present an image and it's not, let's say you did Control V and Control V and you present an Control C and Control V and you present your image. What you do is drag it. Just continue dragging it. See, it's now pasted inside now. And now adjust it to fit properly. So if this is clear, that's the way. And this one I showed you is the best way to do it because you can mentally and visually. This one is more of you're working by faith because you're not seeing it. But this one is you're both seeing. This one I just did is you're both seeing it and also manipulating it, right? So that's why I said use this first option because it works best. But to get a very defined workflow, use your layers. But before you master your layers, please work with this one I showed you. Let's say I have something here and I know what I'm doing. Out of my layers, I can come and say, oh, this one, what is it called? And now search for it. Once I hover, it's highlighting that it's desktop 3. Once I hover, it's highlighting that it's desktop 2. So what I need to do now is, and I realize that, oh, this is the one I want to put inside desktop 3. I now select it, which I've done. So I can come here and select on it. I now say, okay, let me drag it into desktop 3. It's now inside desktop 3. So you see, this is like working by faith because I'm not seeing anything going on, but I know it's inside this. I can say, oh, I don't want to be in desktop 3. I want to be in desktop 2. I now drag it into desktop 2. I now see that it's inside desktop 2. Inside that desktop 2, you have frame 2 and 3. Sorry, image 2 and 3. I don't know if it's making sense now. So I'm going to undo everything. I'm doing all the things I did. I want to bring it back inside. So I'm done with showing us how to work with your layers. This layers is a very, very key element in designing. Second thing I need to do now is, and a rule of thumb is, if it's above something, it will show. If it is below, it is hiding it. Those, I don't know if it makes sense. If your layers is above another layer, this is called layers. Desktop 3 layer 2, desktop 2 layer 1. You just name it. This is a layer. Once a layer is above another layer, it means this is above layer 2. It means this one will hide layer 2 by default. And layer 2 will hide layer 1 by default. Don't know if it's making sense. Rectangle 4 will hide layer 26. So the one that's above will be the one obstructing the other one. Let me show you what I mean. Let's find a rectangle found for, I don't know where those rectangles are again. So let's see the rectangles here. So observe this, Mr. Casey. Let's stay alert. So observe what I'm showing us now. Rectangle 44 is this, right? I think that is above it. Is it showing? You see, it's now hiding it because the layers are above it. Ellipse 26. I think that is now above, is below it. So let's switch it now. You see, to change the narrative. Do you notice the difference now? Does it make sense? Okay. So this is another thing. This is very important. Okay. So let's go back to what we are doing before. So if you want to return back, I can double click. I'm trying to see if I can return back to that desktop. I'm trying to so I've now figured a new trick now. So if you want to return back, let's say you're veered off, I want to return back. What you do is double click on that, add the icon, you return back. So let's say I want to return back to desktop 1, double click on the icon. I'm desktop 1, desktop 2, double click on the icon. I see I'm in desktop 2. If I want to return back to rectangle 4, double click on the icon. See, I'm back to it now. I want to return back to ellipse, and see. I double click on it. I'm on it. So we are returning back to desktop 3. Double click on the icon. In case you get off and you want to, you're trying to find your way again. Back to it. So next down, turn on the grid. I select my desktop here. Mindful of how I said. 2 ways, you can select it from here, or you can select it from here. Exactly. So I go to my layout grid. See the options here. Click on the plus. Plus is to add. This thing is a different styles. Just for now, ignore styles. Once you see styles for now, run away from it. It's not like I said it's a bad thing, no. But it's not you have not yet reached that level to start using styles. Maybe if you're so inquisitive, what those styles do, you can now go ahead of the class and now learn how to use it. But for the meantime, we will use styles. So so this thing is styles. This one is to add. I click on the plus button. I now have a grid. Mind you, this grid is not the grid we need for website design or product design. This is for logo design and graphic design and other kinds of design. So click on this. This is the setting option. Layouts, I see showing us layout grid setting. This place I'm selecting now. I click on it. I have grid selected. I don't need this grid. I need column grid, columns. So I click on columns. I now have 6. Sorry, the counts I have is 5. I told you the standard is work with the multiples of 6 or the multiples of 8. So I'm going to use the multiples of 6. I'll finish 6 now. Leave it at stretch. For the meantime, use only stretch. Don't bother about other things. Use stretch. Quarter 24. Margin is okay. I don't know the margin yet. So there are 2 ways I can do it. I can second guess it by trying different values. I can try 100. I can try 100 is small. I can try 200. Quarter. Okay. Good question. I'm glad that you asked it. Watch the function. I use the function.
And it spans.
Gutter is the space between the column. Then if I make it 0, you see there is no space between the. If I make it, you're wondering why is it empty, right? It's a twist. It means that it does that. This one does it is as good as it does not exist. It is now yes, it's not. But once I may start increasing it, I use 10. 0 is like infinity. It's not. Is in what in mathematics is called indefinite. It does not. It does not. Is not. It's more like it does not exist. So if I should use watch, if I should use 0.2, watch the difference. It's still close to that value. It's just 0. If I should use 0.9, watch the difference. See, it's down so tiny. I think I should just stay. Let me just stay where I am. What people should just know that I just use 24. And 24 is really the best place, the safe place. Just stay around 20 and above. If you use 100, watch the difference. I see that is too much.
So I will not using it. What do you call it? The rows.
Rows.
Yeah.
Rows, it depends on if you want to do anything specific. For now, for the meantime, we don't need rows. Yes, we use rows. So that one is now if you're going advanced, you want to do something more specific, you use rows. Definitely. So that is in rows than rows because in your websites, how do you flow in your websites? Eh? You flow downwards. Do you flow like this in your website? In your okay. That's stuff, right? Don't worry. Good question. It's charging. So that's a very good question. Very nice. It's a very intelligent question. So don't worry. Your curiosity will be answered. There are two ways to do it. You now have to start mind mapping it. Sorry, what I mean mind mapping it is that you have to, in your consciousness, your mind, you have to start. Have you noticed that? Have you tried this out before? What happens to your laptop? Okay, so you don't allow it. It's still so you're not forcefully turning it off. So what happens is this. Have you ever arranged the parlor before? And it's like as if this table is not placed well. Who is staying? What's staying at that place is not placed well? He's like, no, now. What's staying that in your eyes is not looking well arranged. So you have to adjust it. Same thing is, let's say you're arranging your kitchen now, and you're like, I cannot now. And you're like, um this place is not well arranged. The arrange is what's thing is not well arranged because your eyes in your brain is not in order. So the same thing you use here. So if you look at it, your level of find for someone who's a newbie, you might not know, you might not find out something because your mind has not yet you don't have that, let me use that consciousness of seeing something well arranged. For the meantime, what will help you to find well arranged thing? I'm giving us expo now, giving us a very big bracket expo. Start from now and start looking up designs. What you do is go online, check people's design, look out for good designs and compare. You say, oh, I'm seeing this good design. What is different from the other design? What's happening? You're training your eyes. You know if you understand, you're training your eyes. So now, if you don't know how to speak English, once you determine how to speak English about time, if you keep listening to people that speak English, when you now speak the wrong one, you now know, okay, I've now made a mistake. This one I spoke is not the right one. Okay. So it's the same thing. So how you now get mastered to making a good design is expose yourself to more and more good designs. Then you now start training your eyes to spot good design. So for now, I'll just say mature enough, then can arrange it because to the extent I've gotten to, sometimes I don't even need this layout to design, but at least it will still be orderly. Then what I now do is after doing my design, I can now turn on my layout and now arrange it properly, make it making sense. So that's how you do it. First, for the meantime, since we are still learning, the beginner phases, start out with your layers and then with your grid and then continue. Does this answer your question, Andrea? So margin is 200, right? So you're trying to get the margin for this one. I think it's going to be around 250. This is quite Google Pay. They're really ambitious with their space. It's 300. Okay, so it's 300 they use, around 300 and something. And then we try, it's around 300, let's say 320. I think it's probably no, it's a seat. So I think it's 300 they used. So I don't know if it's making sense. So this is how we did it. So the assignment was just for you to figure out how to adjust your matchings, adjust your layout to fit a particular website. So, but I knew that when you want to do it, you will now realize that the way you are seeing me doing it is not the way it happens. So it's good to, that's why it's good to appreciate the process so that you now realize that it didn't turn out like that. I'll make a few mistakes. I don't know if it's making sense. So to make sure that you've gotten it after today's class, please, after today's class, I will advise us to try it again. If you understand, try it again. I don't assume that you have gotten it. Go back and practice it again. Because it's not practice, you now understand that I've forgotten what he said though. I've forgotten what he said in the class. You know, be like, oh, he said something. No, what was it again? So that's why the video is very important. I sent the video of the last class. If you didn't go through it, please go through it again. So that in the last class and this class video, you will make things solid, very, very solid. And trust, I don't need to trust me. If you had gone the video of the first day I talked about Figma, some of the things you realize that some of the things I said, I repeated it again, and I repeated it like 3 times. So it means that you're not going through the videos, which is not a good thing. It means that it doesn't mean okay. Let's agree on something now. Should I stop sharing the video so that in the class you have, because I noticed that it's like I said, the video I'm sharing is not a waste of time.
No, it's not. It's not reference.
Because if the video is not necessary, so what we now do, like we'll do it the old-fashioned way, that anything you learn in this class, you learn it. If you have left it, you have left it. If you have learned, you have learned it. That's how you should do it. That's how you should do it back then. Okay, so what to encourage me to keep posting the video is if you keep making reference to it, because that's something I've said severally, and it shows me that I've repeated it. I've been saying it from the first day of Figma and up until now. It means that we're not going back to the video. So it's important that we always go back to that video. Very important. Okay, so let's now return back to. So at this point, let's proceed. Well, we are done with grids. At this point, to a reasonable extent, we can now, okay, let me end this matter with a phone screen. I already did for desktop. The grid for phone screen is use column grids, normal, but instead of using 6 counts, use 3. 3 divided by 6 is what? 6 divided by 3. No, how do you even say it again? 2 divided by 6 is what? Okay. It's 3, right? So I'm using a 3 column. Do you now know that 3 is like I see is very big? So what I'll do is the quarter is 24. I can adjust the margin now. The margin first, if you try 10, you see is much. It's still okay. If you try let's say 100, you just know what will happen. I see that it's too small. So for phone screen, you can start from 10. I see the difference. Because your phone screen, you don't need too much space. Since in your phone screen is already tight, it's already tightly packed. I see it's already tightly packed. I don't need too much space. So I can 10 is okay, 20 is fair, 30 is fair enough. But anything beyond 30 is even big self. Anything beyond 30 is a no-no. So start with 10 for the meantime. 10 is a little bit too small. So that's the difference. So what I'll now do is I can now arrange my element to fit that my grid. So let me select this one and select these guys to fit it. I see I'm arranging it to fit my grid now. Same thing with this square here. So mind you, your grid is just a guide. It is not a cast on stone. It's not like law of medicine and Pesha that if you don't obey it, you're going to behead you. No, a grid is just a guide. What is a guide? It shows you it means that in real life, something might want to change your guide. You can easily change it. So I want to show you how this grid will look like. But what's the difference now? What happened? Okay. I think I know what happened. Let me switch to mobile. Did you see what happened to desktop for mobile? I see that. I see it's too small. So what I'll do is I'll adjust this. I'll go back and adjust this. I'll change the settings to mobile now. I want to use iPhone Pro 15 Pro Max or 15 Pro, whatever one. It's loading. So let's give it some time. Still loading. So I think I'll have to refresh it. It's still loading. So what I'll do is, since it's still loading, let me refresh it normally. No, I'm no longer online. I've ended the stream. There's another class going on. Yeah. I'm streaming that with a different platform. This is full. So that's summarizes now trying to say. So you're you're meant to submit your prototyping on Thursday. Present it. Two above, we can accommodate that. But if you do two, if you now do one, you just not even bother looking at it. You just be like, okay. You just try something like that. What's going on now? The network is a little bit not very strong. And this is now what's delaying me. You can turn off Yes, you don't need to. You can shut down. If it doesn't, your laptop is not really needed, you can shut down. Oh my god, so are we? Let's check this one if it is back. The Wi-Fi is seriously slow. So error YouTube is not receiving to maintain stream latency. So let's continue, please. But the issue is that what I'm saying now will not be captured in the record. It will not be captured. So it's Thursday. No, if I don't teach you what I'm going to teach you now, your Thursday will be it will not make sense. So let's okay. This one is dependent on you. I'm not.
You don't have time, know what I'm saying. You should continue. You don't have another program.
Okay, so I'm going to briefly touch it. That's not just let me briefly touch it because it's meant to help you in your comment task. So it's going to help you in your comment task. No, the comment task is the one I'm about to submit now, not a new task. So do I leave it so that if you can now just do your assignments on your own, or do I? Definitely now. Oh, you think you just no? While your low fidelity, you have to use your margin now. Definitely none. Oh, welcome to reality. So please let's continue. I'm going back to field. I'm returning to field now. Yes, I have to continue. No vex. So what is layout? I'm just going to make a reference to an article. That's all. So where's the article? Layout is open the article. Good. So layout is your structure, and we have three basic layouts we use in design. So the issue I'm having now is that the network is now